Hello. Welcome to today's webinar on starting your day in the know with HotSheets. We will cover HotSheet gadgets on the dashboard, the 24-hour and custom HotSheets in the menu, and we will take a look at how to send yourself HotSheets as a daily email. So we'll start in FlexMLS looking at the agent dashboard. In the upper right, I currently have one HotSheet gadget. I don't have any criteria selected at the moment, so it is showing me the state of Maine in the last 24 hours. Now you can select specifics for your market area by clicking these three dots, settings, and then filling in some of these fields. So we have state, county, zip code, town, and property type. So I will enter a couple towns. I'll select South Portland, and I'll also start typing in Portland here and select that. And then for the property type, I'll choose residential. And then once you have selected the criteria you would like, you can click Save. And now we can see this hot sheet is for the town of Portland and town of South Portland, and the property type is residential. Below that, we can also select 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and 1 week. I'll leave it on 24 hours for now. Now, I could continue adding criteria to this one gadget, but I am going to add a second gadget. So in the upper right, I'll click Customize, and then Add Gadgets. And then I'm going to select Daily. And we can see here a hot sheet has already been added to the dashboard, but I'm going to add another. Now that that's been added, in the upper right, I'll select Return to Dashboard. And I'm going to scroll down because anytime a new gadget is added, it's going to be added to the bottom left. I could leave this hot sheet gadget here, but I'm going to hover and then drag it up to be with the other hot sheet. And you can see here the lines indicate where it will be placed. I'm going to do the same thing for this hot sheet. I'll click these three dots and settings. And this time I will add just the town of Portland. And I'll do residential for this one. And now I have a hot sheet for Portland and South Portland. And I also have one just for Portland for 24 hours. And of course, I could add more criteria to this if I'd like. I could make the top one just one town, but I'm happy with those gadgets for now. So those are hot sheet gadgets on the dashboard. Let's look at the hot sheet options in the menu. So in the upper left, I'll go to Menu. And under Daily Functions, I have Hot Sheet. I do have a yellow star next to Hot Sheet because I already added it to my favorites. So I'll click Hot Sheet. And now we have the 24-hour and custom hot sheets. Let's look at the 24-hour one first. So this 24-hour hot sheet view all listing events from the past 24 hours. And this is a helpful tip. when you run the 24-hour hot sheet on a Monday, it automatically displays the last 72 hours of listing activity. So it includes listing updates from the previous Friday and the weekend. So the criteria here, I could add state, county, zip code, town, property type. I'll stick with Portland and South Portland as the towns, and property type residential. And I'm going to select Run 24-hour hot sheet. And in this drop down here, I can see that I'm currently looking at new listings, but I could also look at active under contract, for example. Now I am going to go back to the menu and hot sheet. And I can see here that it will keep the filters. So I still have Portland and South Portland residential selected. If I wanted, I could just run that 24-hour hot sheet again, or I could reset the filters and start again. Now let's look at the custom hot sheet. This tip, when you set your search criteria by selecting custom hot sheet settings, the next time you run the custom hot sheet, it will use the previously selected criteria and pull listing events since the last time it was run, up to 72 hours prior. So let's see what that looks like. I'll click Custom Hot Sheet Settings. And under History Event, I currently have New Listing, Price Change, and Back on Market selected. I could select more if I would like, and then click Done. You can add a time period. You can also add various property types. I'll leave it as residential for now. Here you are able to add a price range as well. And then we have the state, county, zip code, and town. This time I'll try Cumberland as the county. And then at the bottom, Run Quick Search Hot Sheet. All right. So in the dropdown this time, since I selected new listings, price changes, and back on market, those are the three options that we have here. Currently looking at new listings, could also switch between these. And notice the date range here. And I'm going to go back to menu and hot sheet again. And it now shows that it will show activity since 11:20 at 9:39 a.m. So if I leave the custom hot sheet settings as they already are, I'll click Run Custom Hot Sheet again. And now there are 0 listings, which makes sense because it's only showing listings from the last minute. Now, we looked at the custom hot sheet and the 24-hour hot sheet, and you can actually set it up so that you can create daily emails for those. So let's look at menu. And if you want, you can type in the search bar, but I'm just going to scroll down under preferences and look at general preferences. And then email. And there's a daily hot sheet option. So this will create a daily email for you. I have none selected currently, but I could select 24-hour or custom. So if I selected the 24-hour and then save, that would create a daily email. All right, so heading back to the agent dashboard. Today we covered gadgets on the dashboard, 24-hour and custom hot sheets. and how to send yourself a daily email. Thank you for attending the webinar today. If you have any questions after the webinar, please call Main Listings at 207-780-1366 or email help@mainlistings.com.